Welcome to Quiz Gentry, your history quiz channel to all things maritime. From construction to voyages, sinking, scrapping, or wreck, each quiz will challenge your knowledge of maritime history. Today, let's test our knowledge of the wartime career of RMS Olympic with 25 intriguing questions and just 8 seconds to answer each. But before we begin, we ask that you consider subscribing to the channel, hit the bell to stay updated with our quizzes, testing your knowledge of iconic vessels. Now, let's dive in to see how well you know about the RMS Olympic. Alright, question 1 here says, what year did Olympic join wartime? Was it 1914, 1916, or 1915? You are correct if you said 1915. Olympic began her wartime efforts during World War I. She was converted for troop transport in 1915. What was Olympic's nickname in war? Was she the Silver Knight, White Queen, or Old Reliable? She was the Old Reliable. Olympic was known as the Old Reliable for her remarkable service, surviving many incidents that could have sunk a weaker ship, and her reputation was not damaged by the loss of her sisters, the Titanic and Britannic, to ice and mine. 3. Which army did Olympic primarily serve? British, German, or French? What do you say? Yes, British. Olympic was dedicated to transporting British troops during the war. She carried them to various global destinations. 4. How many troops could Olympic carry? 6,000, 8,000, or 5,000? $6,000. The ship was modified to accommodate up to 6,000 troops. This capacity was critical for large-scale mobilizations. Question 5. What enemy did Olympic ram in 1918? Your options are U-103, U-23, or U-21. U-103. Olympic rammed and sank a German submarine during wartime. This action demonstrated her strength and defensive capability. This could be tricky, but let's see. What type of ship was Olympic in war? Supply vessel, troop carrier, or warship? Troop carrier. Olympic's role shifted to being a troop carrier. She played a vital part in moving soldiers. Question 7 here should be easy. It says, what color was Olympic painted in war? You have black, gray, and blue to choose from. Gray. Olympic was painted gray for better concealment. This made her less visible to enemy forces. 8. How many crossings did Olympic make? 257, 195, or 203? (257). Olympic completed 257 crossings transporting troops and supplies. Her wartime service was extensive and impactful. 9. What weapon did Olympic have on board? Cannons, torpedoes, or guns? Guns. Olympic was equipped with guns for defensive purposes. These were used to protect against submarine attacks. Question 10. Where was Olympic converted for war? Glasgow is in the options, so is Belfast and Liverpool. Belfast. Olympics wartime conversion occurred at Harland and Wolff. The shipyard prepared her for military use. 11. What year did Olympic end war service? 1918, 1920, or 1919? 1919. Olympic concluded her wartime service after World War I. She resumed civilian operations in 1919. 12. Who commanded Olympic in wartime? Bertram Hayes, Arthur Rostron, or Edward Smith? Bertram Hayes. Captain Bertram Hayes led Olympic during her wartime missions. His leadership ensured the ship's efficiency and safety. 13. How many troops did Olympic transport? 200,000, 250,000, or 210,000? 210,000. Olympic carried over 210,000 troops across multiple missions. Her capacity and reliability were critical to the war effort. 14. What was Olympic's wartime top speed? 24 knots, 22 knots, or 21 knots? "24 knots. Olympic maintained a top speed of 24 knots during the war. This allowed her to quickly transport troops. Question 15. What medal was awarded to Olympic? War Medal, Victory Cross, or Gold Star? War Medal. Olympic received the War Medal for her contributions during World War I. This honor reflected her significant role. 16. Which ocean did Olympic mostly cross? Indian, Pacific, or Atlantic? Atlantic. The ship primarily traversed the Atlantic Ocean during her service. She connected Europe and North America efficiently. 17. What ship class was Olympic during war? Victory class, Olympic class, or Britannic class? Olympic class. Olympic was part of the Olympic class of liners. This distinguished her as one of the largest and most advanced ships. 18. What year was Olympic armed? 1916, 1915, or 1914? (1915). Olympic was armed with defensive weaponry in 1915. These enhancements prepared her for potential attacks. 19. How many ships did Olympic ram? The figures are 3, 1, or 2. 1. Olympic rammed and sank one German submarine during the war. This act showcased her strategic capabilities. Question 20 is another trick one, and it says, what fuel did Olympic use in war? Coal, diesel, or oil? Coal. Olympic continued to use coal as her main fuel. This was consistent with her pre-war operations. 21. What nation did Olympic aid in Gallipoli? Britain, Australia, or Canada? Australia. Olympic transported Australian troops during the Gallipoli campaign. This effort supported the Allied forces' objectives. 22. What deck housed troops on Olympic? D deck, C deck, or E deck? D deck. Troops were primarily housed on D deck during the war. This area was adapted for their accommodation. 23. How was Olympic camouflaged in war? Gray paint, dazzle paint, or steel panels? Gray paint. Olympic's gray paint helped her blend into the sea and sky. This reduced her visibility to enemy forces. 24. What ship did Olympic rescue in war? Audacious, Britannic, or Californian? Audacious. Olympic attempted to assist the HMS Audacious during its distress. This action was part of her wartime duties. The last question of the day, friends. How long did Olympic serve in war? 3 years, 5 years, or 4 years? Four years. Olympic served in World War I from 1915 to 1919. Her contributions were significant to the Allied war effort. Thank you for watching, friends. See you in the next quiz. Bye-bye.